Happy Wednesday, everyone. Well, not if you're Whoopi Goldberg, a.k.a. Karen Johnson. Yeah, who knew Whoopi was a Karen? I thought that was only for white people, like Toyota Priuses and skiing. Roll it, Francis.
Good morning and welcome to The View. You all saw the news. Whoopi will be back here in 2 weeks. Okay?
So cute when one of their side gets punished. They sulk like they ran out of raw cookie dough in the green room.
Someone needs to greenlight a Lifetime movie about Whoopi Goldberg's latest on-air meltdown, complete with sad piano music, dramatic close-ups, and painfully long pauses. Her ego didn't just take a hit, it went straight into witness protection after Greg Gutfeld's roast. Buckle up. Because this takedown was messier than a Real Housewives reunion during hurricane season. Watching Whoopi unravel happened faster than her last failed punchline.
She suspended Whoopi for 2 weeks because she said the Holocaust had nothing to do with race. She said this on a show called The View, which makes everything about race. Except now.
The Holocaust isn't about race. No. It's not about race. It's about
a different race.
But it's not about race. It's not about race.
What is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man.
Yeah, that's heroically stupid. Even for the...
This wasn't just a bad day. This was the kind of meltdown that makes toddlers look emotionally stable. One moment she's unraveling like a cheap sweater in a washing machine. The next, she's preaching from her faux leather throne like she's delivering sacred wisdom. All the while, Greg Gutfeld, Fox News' resident chaos gremlin, is using humor like a flamethrower in a fireworks factory.
You, otherwise known as Hell's DMV, Whoopi Goldberg asked how much different are the values of the Trump administration from the Taliban.
We have a leader who has repeatedly demeaned women, wants to defund organizations that benefit women, calling on the media to shut up, specifically wants to give preferential treatment based on...
Let's be honest, The View stopped being a serious debate show a long time ago. Now it's basically a group chat with 5 malfunctioning Siri devices arguing over who's morally superior. Whoopi has been heading toward this meltdown for years, convinced that feelings outrank facts and volume equals truth.
Talk about groundbreaking to actually hear a celebrity say something mean about the Taliban. How dare they compare them to Trump? The Taliban should sue because they ran out of Hitler analogies. So as they bash the president, I'm reminded how entertainers rarely express any rage over any strand of misogynist Islamism. If they did, we might take their rage toward Trump seriously. A reminder, the Taliban throw acid in girls' faces for going to school. Yeah, I guess that's like defunding Planned Parenthood. Radical Islam is all for killing gays, and I guess that's the same as making some rude jokes. No, Trump's past rudeness is a product of a rude culture, one fed and fattened by a coarse entertainment industry.
Now imagine her shock when Gutfeld showed up with that smug grin and a truckload of satire. He dared to mock the so-called queen of daytime drama, and Whoopi reacted with the emotional stability of a wet paper towel. One joke, and suddenly it was a full-blown DEFCON meltdown.
Apparently they're throwing tariffs on manatee meat and bovine semen, which means The View is very unhappy. Sausage maker Johnsonville is recalling more than 42,000 pounds of pork sausage for possible contamination with plastic fibers. Fortunately, authorities were able to track all 42,000 pounds to a single location in New York City.
Gutfeld tore through her talking points like a master chef filleting a fish, while she clung to whatever trending cause was popular that week. This wasn't just a roast, it was a full exposure. When her logic started looking like Swiss cheese, she didn't respond with facts. She flailed, dramatically, predictably, pulling out the invisible oppression card, tossing in a handful of buzzwords, and performing what can only be called emotional interpretive politics. The View has become a petri dish of recycled opinions, where original thought goes to die.
Brains are small, but who's the dumbest one of all? True, none of them are in Mensa, but who's the most densa? Perhaps it's Sonny who mastered the art of making idiots look smart. Now, The View could ask Amir who's the dumbest one of all, but there's no way that glass doesn't shatter. So instead, let's check out this clip from Monday's episode of The View when the ladies put their science caps on and discuss the solar.
At this point, it's less a talk show and more a live-action Twitter mob. When Gutfeld stepped in, he didn't just insult, he dropped truth bombs. Suddenly, Whoopi looked like she'd wandered into a logic class without her notes. Her response was pure outrage, shoulders slumped, voice trembling, random history references, and fake intellectual jargon. Somewhere, a producer was sprinting for the commercial break button.
The rapture is here. Rapture's here, and then also I learned that cicadas are coming.
Cicadas.
Although for the first time in like
No.
100 years, for the first time in many years.
No, every 17 years this happens.
Well, that's not what I read, but maybe you know better. All those things together would maybe lead one to believe that either climate change exists. Or something is returning.
Earthquakes are not at the mercy of climate change. It's underground.
It happens, and the eclipse, they've known about the eclipse coming because eclipses happen, and they actually can say when these things are going to happen.
Amazing. That's not what I read. The true sign of the apocalypse is someone that dumb has a law degree. Worse, if your name has the word sun in it, there's no excuse for not knowing how an eclipse works. But it's no surprise that Joy is the one who understands science. She's been on the science diet for years.
And the co-hosts? Oh, they were right there, nodding like backup singers in a cult choir. Every time Whoopi stumbled, they offered encouragement like, "We did not rehearse this." Sunny Host unleashed a word salad so confusing it practically needed subtitles. Joy Behar looked like gravity had just been invented. The whole panel circled the wagons, turning the debate into a group therapy session where accountability wasn't allowed in.
Austin's obsession with race gets thrown back in her face. Today's video comes to us from Sunny Austin. Sounds like a town. We're in Sunny Austin. She was on PBS's Finding Your Roots, a show dedicated to researching celebrity ancestry. For context, Sunny is a staunch supporter of reparations and has made a fortune spewing nonsense about white privilege and racial justice. Well, turns out she's not as oppressed as she claims she is. She's actually the descendant of slave owners.
Meanwhile, the internet had a field day. Memes, remixes, slow motion edits with dramatic violin music. It was open season. And the worst part? This wasn't new. Just another classic Whoopi meltdown. She always acts like disagreement is some brand new invention. The View has perfected the art of sounding confident while being completely wrong. Like a book club that only ever reads the cover.
He claims Biden's loose bowels should make voters throw in the towels. Goldberg's rational so weak she doesn't care if Biden can't speak. Yes, it's a magical land where little Debbies make big bellies and brain cells go to die. This week on The View, Whoopi doubled down on her support of Joe Biden's re-election. No surprise, but it was her peculiar poo-powered prose that piqued my potty predilection. Roll it!
I don't care if he's pooped his pants. I don't care if he can't put a sentence.
Gutfeld walked away like he just won a chess match using Google Maps. No gloating, no ranting. Just another joke, and back to business. Whoopi, on the other hand, tried to rewrite reality with her facial expressions and emotional fireworks. By the next episode, she was back at full force righteous outrage and moral lectures. Zero reflection. Because on The View, growth is optional, but drama is mandatory.
If he his pants, and in fact, she'll stand right behind him. Not only does she have a terrible case of Trump derangement, she also has no sense of smell or a really weird fetish. And I'm not one to kink shame, to each his own. I guess you just got tired of Joy's crap. Kat, you know what was the most interesting thing about this? Was the audience reaction. Like when she started talking about poop being everywhere, the audience was like frozen. They were like, oh, I don't, what is going on here? Whoopi has a poop problem.
What does she mean she has poopy days?
She has poopy days.
Lesson learned. If your reputation depends on never being questioned, public meltdowns are inevitable. And Gutfeld isn't afraid to step into the hornet's nest and start swinging. Maybe one day Whoopi will step outside her smug bubble. But then, who would people compare themselves to, just to feel smarter?
These are married white women, and they do fall in line with what their husbands are doing.
People have to wonder, where does Sunny Hostin get her opinions? Like you said, it's obviously from her husband. She has to tell her what to say in The View, because without it, she's got nothing up there. She's not very bright. But the problem with her is that she went full.
Gutfeld doesn't play the victim. He doesn't need 5 co-hosts nodding like dashboard ornaments. He just fires off jokes sharper than Joy Behar's haircut. Why does it work? Because comedy can tell the truth without pretending to be sacred. The View thrives on applause and self-congratulation. Gutfeld thrives on calling out nonsense on both sides, and younger audiences notice. Lectures are boring. Sarcasm backed by facts? That sells.
Hostin, who thinks climate change caused the solar eclipse, the dumbest of them all. Because everyone knows the moon caused the eclipse, which is controlled by The View's gravitational pull. All right, Kat, did you ever see such a group? It's amazing how Joy and Whoopi became the smart ones.
For me, the most shocking thing about the conversation was how truly bold.
The comment sections crowned him the winner, and the ratings backed it up. Whoopi clutched her pearls, while the rest of the View squad responded with eye rolls, sighs, and passive-aggressive theatrics. Sunny's glare could curdle milk. Joy blinked like a malfunctioning robot. Anna added dramatic sound effects. Pure accidental comedy. At this rate, Whoopi's ego might file for its own SAG card and go solo. But hey, thanks for the entertainment. Even in meltdown mode, you're still serving premium meme material. While The View drowns in righteous rage, Gutfeld keeps cracking jokes and stacking viewers.